Today I have something new for you. Some time ago I've put some links to my videos on Reddit. The response was quite satisfying. New subscribers came in, some nice comments, but one thing is even better. I've met Jonny Mak, sound designer from Toronto. We spoke on Reddit, had a call and decided to do some videos together. This is the first one. If this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe because I will post a lot of fun stuff about sound design. The idea of this collaboration was to do something unusual. So Jonny said we should redesign one scene from the newest Ratchet Clank trailer, and I said that we should do it with sounds we record for each other in our bathrooms. Challenge accepted. We gave each other a few days to record, send the audio files and do their redesign. And of course, the idea was to show different recording and designing approaches. So remember, the only rule in this challenge is to use those sounds that we gave to each other. Let's see and hear what Jonny did. Now my version. Remember, it's all done with bathroom recordings. We had a video call with Jonny after we sent each other our versions, so let's see it.
I really love the sound that you came up with. That was really cool and like completely unexpected to what I had in mind as well. Yeah, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, what did you take anything into consideration when recording your sounds? Like, did you have an idea in your head what this portal was supposed to sound like before you went and recorded anything, or did you just like record like a collection of sounds that you felt might be useful, or you're like...
It was more like going and looking around, you know, the place, the bathroom, and trying to find anything that would do the sound that will be useful for you. But as you heard when I sent them to you, it was like I found some crazy or bizarre stuff, like, you know, I took a brush and put it on the shower cabin, or took the toilet brush and just move it around. It was like, I don't know if it's useful, but it's crazy. If you would have any idea for these sounds, I guess it's a good base, because what's more interesting in a bathroom, like recording a water, toilet flush or drawer, it's like normal sounds. So my idea was to find anything unusual in this room.
Yeah, well, the thing that's great about getting things like water taps and toilet flushes is that it's a continuous sound, right? It's so...
Yeah, I can loop it.
Because we're not using any synths or white noise for it, it helps to like shape or build any whooshes that you need. So like that was something that I went to the tap and your deodorant spray for. And then the things like the metal bin opening and closing, those like impacts, I just built a kick drum out of them because they worked so well. Like there's so much low end. Yeah, for me, when I went and recorded, because I had very much an idea as to what I wanted to achieve, I tried to record sounds that reflected that as well. So I knew that I wanted something that was like metallic sounding. So I recorded the sound of the nail clippers on. We have like metal shelves in ours. So like that sound was kind of cool. And then our bathtub had this crazy rumble to it. So I wanted to record that as well. And then some high-end elements with the foot spa and the water. And then you went off and made something amazing with it. And yeah, it was really cool.
I wasn't thinking about, slamming the door to the bathroom. Because
I didn't even think about that.
I don't know if it's an element of bathroom or it is not.
Yeah, I think so. As long as you're standing inside, then it works, right?
But
no, I didn't even think about slamming the door.
Yeah, I thought about it after I recorded everything and sent to you. And I was listening to this, and I was listening to those you have sent me, and I was like looking at the door, and damn, another obvious thing.
No, it's great.
I just liked it.
I'm glad we both got something out of that interaction of doing different sounds, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me the biggest challenge was because I had such a distinct vision in my head of what I wanted to make it sound like in my head when I see the video and you see the portal break up and you see all the broken glass shards, that's something that I really wanted to convey. But obviously breaking glass in a bathroom is quite hard, so I tried to somewhat replicate that by taking very small chunks of your audio and trying to turn it into ambiances by fading it. And then once I had like 12 of those, I then put them into a piece of software called Sound Particles. You know Sound Particles? For the people that might be watching this, Sound Particles basically works like a VFX particle engine where you can, in VFX, you would use sprites and then you would recreate those sprites like 1,000 times and it would create like an explosion or something. So I did the same thing, but with 12 audio snapshots or like 12 little audio files and let it generate something that seemed a lot bigger. So it alternates the pitch and the volume and create a bit more of this like debris sound. So that was my like growing out and then just reversing it and sucking it all back in again. So like that was a fun little challenge to try and get that like debris out of the things from a bathroom. And one thing that I really liked about yours is that there was a really distinct sonic character to it. So now that people understand that this is the sound of the portal, if they were to hear it somewhere else, like in the video game, they'd be like, oh, there's a portal opening somewhere. And it immediately draws your attention to it. Whereas I feel like mine is a bit more like... I feel like mine was a bit more just practical and just very much like what you see is what you get, and it doesn't necessarily draw your attention or ties to it.
Maybe they were made for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that just kind of goes and follows my idea of you just gotta try many different things and you got to do different iterations. If I had more time, I would think outside the box a little bit more and maybe try taking some sounds away or trying to do something completely different for like the build up or make something that less practical. But
about your approach, I really liked the simplicity of this because it was matching the video. And one thing I did after listening to yours, fade in and fade out of this purple, the appearing of the portal. And after I saw your version, then I said and like, I need to change it. It's just so obvious. Why I haven't seen this?
And one thing that I thought was great was when we put my sound and your sound together, it created this like extra elevated like cool sound to it as well.
The most struggle I had was with doing the impact after the portal opens. It was like, damn, it's so light. It's not the way I want it. So I layered some of the impacts he gave me. Like, I guess it was the drawer.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like a cupboard door opening and closing.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much the only impact that I gave to you as well. I didn't do many impacts. Like I don't have many things to slam in my bathroom.
Same here, and
Yeah. So I'm curious, if you were to do this again, would you record sounds that are different now, or would you process things differently, or would you try? Is there anything else that you would pay more attention to? Or?
So yeah, the main lesson learned is that you can do anything from anything. Like, it was the good example of doing things that are not made for doing things we did with them. Like, who the hell is going to the bathroom to record things for Portal? Like, no. So this is the main lesson. Like, the imagination and software is like your limitation, right?
For me, I felt like the only limitation I had was when it comes to anything that's like magical sounding. I like to add something with like a musical value to it, so that you can hear some like notation going on, because I find that stuff really sells magic quite well. Like chimes or whatever it is, even if it's like atonal, even if it's not in key with anything, I find that stuff helps a lot. So that limitation was one of the harder ones to work with, but for me, it just made me realize that the only limitation is like not getting...
We can do another challenge with your daughter.
I've already started recording her. She makes a lot of interesting noises. The thing that made me realize the most is that the biggest limitation is just not getting off your butt and like going out and recording stuff. So I don't think there's any excuse for anyone to say that they can't do anything, like they don't have the correct library for it, because even if you don't make something that's like practically the same as what you're seeing, I mean, I'm talking purely sound design and not Foley here. Even if it's not exactly what it is that you're seeing, you can still sell it by giving it its own character. You can still make it sound like otherworldly. You can still do whatever you want with anything, really, as long as you have a microphone that you can go and just start recording some stuff. And like software is so cheap now, and as long as you can record something and you have a bit of creativity to it, I think you can get away with anything.
You know, you can even do things on your phone.
As long as you just spend the time to think about it and just walk around and hit things, I think you can... The world is your oyster. The only limit is how much time you want to sit on your butt and not do it. And then, you know, obviously, watching all the stuff by Ben Burtz is just paramount to, I think, every sound designer. Because
this guy
he uses animals on everything. Like, the guy's amazing.
This guy is a goldmine of, you know, ideas. Like when I first heard that TIE Fighter is a elephant.
Yeah.
What?
And when you know it and you play it back, you're like, oh yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah. Because the thing is if you make the sound, you'll always be like, oh, it just sounds like an elephant to me. But to someone else, it'll be something completely different, right? All right. Well, good talking to you, man. Is there anything else you want to cover before I leave?
I just wanted to, you know, thank you for being here with me.
Well, I do it for the love of doing it. I think we just love sound, so that's all it comes down to. So I'd be more than happy to do more stuff like this. It's a lot of fun.
I'm open. I'm for you.
Yeah, I'm into it.
As a bonus, we decided to do the explanation videos. You can watch them here. I will also put the links in the description. And I can tell you that we are working on the next challenge. It will be the same scene, but made differently. And I think all of you will find a nice addition in the next movie, so stay tuned.